Welcome back. Joining us now to tell us all about their upcoming events through No Menthol Buffalo are Councilman Rasheed Wyatt, Stan Martin, and Dr. Skylar Lawson. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. Stan, I'm going to start with you, Stan the man. Let's talk about No Menthol Buffalo and what your mission is in our community.
Thank you. Happy Juneteenth, everyone.
Yeah.
Well, No Menthol Buffalo is a youth and community-led initiative, and what we're charged with doing, our mission is to build awareness and education about the harmful effects of menthol tobacco, especially on marginalized communities. We know that menthol itself masks the harshness of tobacco. Therefore, that makes it easier to start and harder to quit. So when we look at, in terms of the intentional marketing, we know that Black and brown communities, including the LGBTQIA+ community, is intentionally targeted with menthol flavored tobacco.
Which is why this is more than just an issue about tobacco. You consider this a racial and social justice issue as well.
Absolutely. So, Buffalo's considered, the second largest city of Buffalo. Let me just say, of New York State.
Yeah.
All right. And as Councilman Wyatt often points out, that it's the third, poorest in terms of, our population and density. Therefore, when we look at the tobacco retail marketing, the density shows us, and Dr. Lawson here will talk about this, how it's disproportionately marketed in Black and brown communities. So therefore, that's why we think this and believe this is a systemic and structural form of racism.
Okay. Councilman Wyatt, tell us a little bit about your involvement with No Menthol Buffalo and why it's an important initiative for you.
When we talk about the disparities in our Black and brown communities, these are things that happen that we have some control over, that we should be addressing. Right now, this item is before the council asking for us to vote on it to not have menthol sold in the city of Buffalo. And again, when you think about the harm that it brings and the lives that this could save, here we are banning ATVs, but here's something that's more detrimental, that someone is dying, every week. This could be a game changer. California has banned it. Massachusetts and Canada. And so why can't we be on the forefront of doing something that is going to impact the community in a positive way and send a message that we care about the lives in our communities? And this is a big one. And so we'll be voting on it next Tuesday, and I'm hoping that we can set the trail, that we are really looking at saving lives and looking at better outcomes for the folks in our community.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dr. Skylar, let's talk a little bit about how the end of tobacco sales will actually improve the community's health and save lives.
Right. So as a public health researcher and tobacco researcher, I've extensively studied the impact of menthol tobacco on different communities of color. And reducing the sale of it would save lives because, again, like Stan mentioned, the flavor component makes it easier to start and harder to quit. And what I looked at specifically with New York State, and specifically in Buffalo, is tobacco retailer density. And that's essentially how many tobacco retailers are in a specific area. And so I created a map using zip code data. And the map is a heat map, so the redder the locations are, the more tobacco retailers there are. And if you look at the map, there's higher concentration of tobacco retailers in the east side and the west side. Like we said, communities of color are more impacted by this. And research has shown that when there's a higher number of tobacco retailers in the community, there's a higher rate of tobacco use among adults and youth. And that's even been demonstrated in places in California and Massachusetts where the tobacco bans, the tobacco use rates have gone down over time. So that's an important component of reducing tobacco use is, cutting down the number of licenses, maybe through moratoriums, as well as also targeting flavors, which attract youth and adults and make it harder for them both to quit.
That's right.
And Chelsea, if I could double down on that, that is, we know that a ban will specifically in our community save over 700 lives, including over 400 Black lives. So this is about saving lives. This is about putting the health, as Councilman Wyatt has said, putting the health of our community, of our people, over the profits of big tobacco. So this is a way to do that and be transformative for generations to come.
I know that you're constantly educating people about menthol and tobacco use and the harms of it with events. Tell us about any upcoming events you have.
Well, absolutely. I just want to double down once again. We're going to be before the Buffalo Common Council, the full council, next week, Tuesday, June 24th at 2 p.m. We're asking all of our partner organizations and those who stand in solidarity to come and support and show your support as well. If you have a loved one or a family member or a friend, this is a great way to honor them. Also, we are partnering with the Buffalo Center for Health Equity. They're having a Jazz and Justice event. We have edutainment, education as well as entertainment. entertainment combined so that we can disseminate our message in a way that, hopefully people will receive it. But once again, the Jazz and Justice Festival is taking place Saturday, June 28th. That's going to be at Pocket Park on Ellicott Street here in the city of Buffalo.
Amazing. And all of these
from 3 to
events
6
are
p.m.
free. Yes.
Yes.
So thank you so much for coming in and educating the community on these harms and talking more about it. Viewers, if you'd like to learn more about all of their upcoming events throughout the rest of June, you can visit nomentholbflo.org. Thanks again for coming in.
Thank you for having us.